What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Friday edition. It's a fiery Friday here, man. We're trying to get some cash every single day, man. You know how we do it on this show. If you do like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Also, I wouldn't talk you off becoming a member. Only $3.99 a month. We have our guy, my brother Andy Lang, with us today, the prop guide. Andy, how you doing, my brother?
Doing great. Nice to have NBA back. Didn't have any plays last night. I just stay away from that first night coming back from All-Star break. I don't know. I just like
Mhm.
to sit it out and watch. But we got a lot of intriguing games tonight. A lot of bets. Really excited to get into it with you.
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, in theory, Andy, you could say I didn't even realize that. Yes, I'm like, hold on, we're betting all. So we usually like to fade a team when they're fade a player when they're coming back off of rest 7 8 days. I'm like, hold on, everyone's coming in here off the so everybody's in here rusty. I thought about that. I'm like, oh shit. But regards to that, man, did make a little cash yesterday, but still overall pissed off that the Thunder at least should have won that game. The money line really would have pushed me into some plus for the day, man. But it's all good. It's all gravy. Let's try to get some cash today. And it's still somewhat the first day plan for some of these teams, guys. So take it a little easy. Don't be surprised if some guys coming out still a little drunk, still a little, you know what I'm saying, on vacation mode, man. But let's head over here. First game, man. We're not here to waste your time. It's all business. Let's go over here to the streets of Washington, D.C. We have the Wizards here getting to 2 points at the house versus the New York Knicks. I did do a show last night. Suggested Knicks plus the two, guys. Now they're laying 2 points. I must say I do agree with the move in this one, Andy. How you looking at this game, my brother? Any props you liking in this one?
Yeah, great job getting ahead of that number. That's a just a fantastic bet. If you can do that every time, you're going to be doing really, really well. Yeah, I think the books have definitely caught up to Jalen Brunson and they've caught up to Julius Randle. Julius Randle was great on his rebounds and assists for a while, but they have definitely tapered off a little bit. So I'm kind of a wait and see approach with this Knicks team with Brunson and with Randle. I know Beal's questionable tonight, but the Knicks just haven't been that great against bigs. So I lean towards Porzingis over maybe his points total. I think Kuzma is going to be a little bit busy with Randall. And I think that opens things up for Porzingis. His numbers at 23.5, slight lean to that one. I can't say super confident in props in this game. They're more leans than anything, so I wouldn't say put your hard earned money on this, but I really want to see what Brunson and Randall look like. This is a game I think I'm going to learn a lot from. So I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
see if Brunson and Randall are back to their hot streak. If they were just kind of getting a little lazy before All Star break, look at Porzingis over. But this is a kind of a wait and see with this Knicks team for me.
That's a great look there, Andy. You could never talk you off a player that's played that like was drafted by a team, whatever. Porzingis, every time he goes up against the Knicks, he will have extra incentive. And I think that what kind of got them hot playing was Josh Hart coming over there. We know that Brunson played the college ball at Villanova with Josh Hart. He was very ecstatic. He was stoked when he found out that Josh Hart was coming over here, and Hart was as well. He somewhat plays a lot different role with the Knicks. He basically just has to drive to the rim, rebound the ball, and makes a few passes, whatever. They're not really asking him to be a huge scorer. It's all about Josh Hart bringing his energy. And I think the Knicks are in a groove now. Like you said, Andy, when you're in a groove right before the All Star break, that break can come at the worst time, in my opinion. Here, but
Absolutely.
I'm still looking at the Knicks here, man. The road team. It's been as simple as just take the road team in their last 5 meetings. Road teams 5-0 5-0 ATS in their last 5 meetings. The Knicks are 4-1-1 ATS in their last 6 games. They're 5-1 ATS last six in their last 6 meetings in Washington as well. So like I say, this is the first of a back-to-back from the Knicks. They do play the Pelicans tomorrow at the house, but I think they can get it done tonight versus the Wizards. Also, 29-11 ATS last 40 road games. The Knicks are, so they have been road warriors, and also 19-8 against the spread last 27 versus a team with the winning home record in this one, man. So the Wizards, they were playing some good ball as well right before the break. So you could question which one of the two teams are going to have their great streak stopped. Wizards were 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games before the break as well. So I do think the Knicks have more sustainable. The way that they play basketball is more sustainable in my opinion. Like Knicks last night at +2, couldn't talk you off the -2, guys, but I didn't take Knicks -2. So just being perfectly honest with you guys. Let's head up here to the streets of Atlanta here, Andy. We have the Hawks. Atlanta point here at the house versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in this one. Hawks first game after they fired their coach. Do you think that affects any props or the side in this one, Andy?
Trey probably is going to enjoy himself at least. Do you know what I mean? for a while. So this is a Actually, I want you to go first on this one. I want your take on this one
Okay.
because I kind of have some strong opinions. I want yours first.
Yeah, I expected the Cavs to win yesterday, and I really wanted to fade them here, guys. So that does kind of sort of throw a wrench, and that's the only problem with me going through the rest of the season, trying to go through every team's wins or losses. When it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, it kind of messes up everything, man. So, but this is a revenge spot for the Hawks. They did lose November 21st, 114-102. That's when the Hawks were playing horrible still. I mean, you could argue they're not playing the best, but still coming off the break. I'll tell you this, it's real simple with me here, Andy. First game after fire your coach, I'm only looking towards backing their team. It's a huge energy jolt. Now, it could just be Hawks first half, but I do think the Hawks will come out here with a sense of urgency, with a sense of like life. You see what I'm saying? We'll talk about that with a later game here, but they were 4-1 straight up in ATS in their last 5 games before the break as well. And like I say, the first game after firing coach, that's a huge turn-up spot in my opinion. Cavs are coming off the big game versus Jokic and the Nuggets, where they basically choked that one down the stretch in the fourth quarter. That was at the house. We've seen the Cavs do that even more on the road. John Collins won't be in the game for the Hawks. That does hurt, but I don't necessarily like the spot here for the Cavs. They are 3-8 against the spread as a road underdog as well. So it just speaks volumes even more when the other team is favored at the house. The Cavs, they're second worst in the league in that spot, man. So I'm only looking towards Hawks here. Maybe Hawks first half. Probably not betting this game. I expected the Cavs to be coming off a big win here, Andy.
I just like the Hawks over their team total 113.5. So that's pretty easy. I think they're going to play with a lot of resiliency, and I think they're going to play with a lot of heart. So that's where I'm going.
I like it. Yeah, I saw somebody bet that one last night at 112.5. So if it's come up a point, that's definitely good. I couldn't talk you off there. I definitely see probably a faster pace from the Hawks in this one. If the top lean for me would probably be Hawks first half for them to have like a hot start. It could be Hawks. I would like to say first quarter, but the Cavs already kind of shook off the rust in that one, man. So Hawks could come in here taking a little rusty. I want to lean Hawks first half full game, but I really like that team total over for you, that one, Andy, because it doesn't even matter if they cover the spread or win the game. You just need them to come out and get hot and score some points. So Hawks team total over, definitely liking that one, Andy. Say over here to the streets of Milwaukee here, we have the Bucks laying a 1.5 at the house versus the Miami Heat in this one, Andy. It looks super easy to take the Bucks here, laying 1.5. What you think happens in this one?
Well, the 2 games they played in January, they do you know who the leading scorer was in those 2 games? Do you know Gabe Vincent was the leading scorer in those 2 games? They did not have Giannis in those games, and they struggled. They're 6-5 without Giannis this season, and they give up a lot of points. They're 2-4 the last 6 games without him, and their 2 wins were not against very good teams. I think it's the Heat here in this one. Brook Lopez was terrible in those 2 games, so maybe you look at Brook Lopez under. I will say if the Bucks are going to have success, it's going to have to be with Drew Holiday. So if you like the Bucks to win, I think you got to look at Drew Holiday and just take points, rebounds, and assists. He's going to have to do it in all the categories. Looking at 33.5 right now. Lopez is probably going to struggle again against Adebayo. So I do like Drew Holiday over his points, rebounds, and assists just because, Lowry was a good defender years ago. He's out. So it's kind of hard to say, well, Lowry's out. They lose good defense. Well, not really. So I think the perimeter is the weak spot on defense for Miami. But look at Lopez under. I like the Heat to win. I like Holiday over his points, rebounds, and assists.
I like the Heat to win as well in this one. Heat plus 1.5. That's what I'm liking in this one. That's what I bet, man. They are 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings. Now, this is the whole thing on Giannis. If Giannis plays, the Bucks will probably win. But obviously he's doubtful here. He just went off for MRI with some ligament damage in his wrist. You can't expect him to play in this game. Obviously he's just doubtful. He could get upgraded to probable. This is Giannis we're talking about. We've seen him go from probable to out. We've seen him go out to probable. So you never know with the Bucks and Giannis here, but I don't care, to be honest with you. I think this is a Heat type of game, and the Heat are 7-1 ATS in their first game post All-Star break. So they're playing with 8 or more days rest over the past 8 years. They're 7-1 ATS in those spots. I think it's 8-1 in this one. That speaks volumes to how good of a coach the exposure is. I like that they come out and say yesterday that Giannis was doubtful. That way you can kind of already game plan for to be that without him. I think the Heat need this game a little bit more. They're obviously way down in the standings than the Bucks are. I think they want to try to go 3-1 versus the Bucks this season. This one, and when you go for on a 12-game winning streak, you don't want that break to come. You don't want 8 or 9 days off, man. When you're on a 12-game winning streak, that's going to throw a whole wrench in their routine, in their shooting, all that, man. I think the Heat win this game, and they're the team that drives to the rim a little bit more. Bucks rely on their 3-point shooting, and those are the things that can be rusty when you're coming back from 8 or 9 days rest. So give me the Heat here plus the 1.5. And this one is my best bet of the day, guys. Let's head over here to the next game. Going to the streets of Minnesota here, Andy. We have the Wolves laying 6.5 points at the house versus the Charlotte Hornets. This line was at 8 yesterday. It's come down to 6.5. I do not agree with money coming in on the Hornets here. I must say here, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's two teams you don't really trust. I know I'd heard you talk about Charlotte Hornets possibly taking their win total under. So,
oh yeah,
I think we're to the point of the season where this just sounds weird, but maybe you just start taking the opponents of these tanking teams and money line parlay them. I mean, my God, you could have taken the opponents of the Spurs the last, 14, 15 games and just thrown them in with all your other picks. So it's impossible to bet on the Hornets and, just to win. Maybe covers a different story. I did notice Terry Rozier has gone over his PRA quite a bit. He's just barely getting there. So it's nothing really, really confident. And then I find it hard to take some of these props on overs because, Jay, you could definitely have the dreaded blowout situation. Anthony Edwards is at 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What if he's got 37, then doesn't play the fourth quarter because the game's a 25-point game or something like that. I also don't trust LaMelo Ball at this point with his points, rebounds, and assists. There's nothing I like about this Hornets team. This Timberwolves team I don't trust as well. My days of betting on Rudy Gobert have been long in the past. I just can't find anything. I do like Mike Conley under his points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not really sure what all he's going to add to the team besides some, maybe veteran leadership. But from a stats perspective, I just don't really see it. This game screams stay away from a props perspective. That's my best recommendation.
Yeah, one prop you probably should look at in this one is Rudy Gobert double-double. One thing to note, since Conley has come over there, Conley likes to do floaters in the lane. So the team, what I saw versus the Wizards, where you don't really know what to they're doing a pick and roll with Conley and Gobert. They do have a ton of chemistry, and you don't know when Conley's going to float it, or you don't know when he's going to float it up to Gobert for the dunk. So Gobert gets almost at least 3 or 4 alley-oop dunks, guys, in the game, like easily. He might even get 5, man. So we know that he's going to go over his read. He's going to get over 10 rebounds. Gobert double-double. I know last game it was minus 120. I'm sure the books are going to start to catch up with that, Andy, if you can, when I break down why I would only look towards the Wolves. If you can look at what Gobert double-double is, I do think
minus 345.
Damn, it was minus 120. Oh, boy, that's unfair.
You'd have to parlay that with something else.
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, it's free cheddar, but yeah, maybe parlay whatever we're saying. It's just crazy because it was minus 120 last game, but they caught on to that shit. But the Wolves did lose early this year, so in theory, there's a revenge spot. They lost 110 to 108. That was November 25th. That's when they still had Karl-Anthony Towns and Gobert. They were absolute ass. Then they didn't know how to play with each other, and when LaMelo Ball was out as well, and they still beat the Wolves. But the Wolves are making a playoff push, and the Hornets are tanking. So you have a team that wants to win. That basically every game is a must win to the Wolves, guys. That's why I wouldn't bet against them. It's one of those situations where I'm like, do you want to bet on tanking teams for the rest of the season? I don't. I mean, like I say, it could be a sharp play, or they could lose by 20. Like, damn, why the hell am I betting the Hornets here? So I'm only betting on teams that need to win these games. You can say it matters, you can say it not, but they are 7-0 ATS last 7 games after a loss, 6-1 ATS last 7 playing on 3 or more days rest as well, and also 19-9 ATS last 28 versus less than 40% win team. So they do like to beat up on these bad teams. This is a prime opportunity for the Wolves to get a win in the tough Western Conference. I wouldn't bet against them here, man. Like I say, Hornets off two straight wins as well right before the break. They are 0-4 ATS last four on the road. The Hornets do have a game tomorrow as well at home versus the Heat. I could only look towards the Wolves in this one. Could not talk you off what Andy said. Betting against some of these tanking teams, throwing them in money line parlays, guys. That is something that I will be doing. I could not talk you off at all. Taking the Wolves money line and Clippers money line parlay. I think that's cash right there, guys. So up here to the next game, Andy, we have the Suns land 7 points at the house versus the Thunder. This line came down from 8. Do you agree with it? Thunder coming off that tough overtime loss last night in Utah, Andy.
Yeah, I mean the Thunder are. I mean, let's face it, they're the against the spread MVPs coming. Going into the All-Star break, they were just they were just fantastic. Anytime you could get them against a better team and they were plus money, you just took them and you enjoyed the tickets. I I'm not ready to back this Suns team. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why the Thunder are getting 7 points. I guess it's the back to back, but come on, they just came. They just had a week off from the All-Star break. Like they're not. It's not like they played one game and they're completely exhausted. Durant's not there yet, so I don't like the starting lineup of the Suns. I like the Thunder to cover, and if you like the Thunder to cover, you automatically got to go look at SGA over his points or over his points, rebounds, and assists. I noticed he's even going over his rebounds and assists. So on a back-to-back, I got to go with the Thunder in this one. I would even not. That's my favorite play in this one. I like SGA over. I'm sure you can go with Chris Paul over his assists. Without Durant, Durant is create his own shot a lot. So I wonder if Chris Paul's assist might go down just a little bit. Or you could say if Durant's in there making a bunch of shots, maybe it goes up. But when Chris Paul has a lot of these guys that are, not necessarily big names, he tends to get them involved and he finds ways to get them open shots. So Chris Paul over his assist, but I just love getting 7 points with the Thunder.
Yeah, I feel like if I like the Thunder, I want to take them early. The Thunder do have an advantage. They played last night. They got a chance to shake off the rust.
That's a good point.
The Suns could come in here a little bit rusty. So I feel like if you like Thunder, take them first quarter, like maybe even on the money line. That's where they have the advantage. As this game goes on, the Thunder are as much as at the less advantage, especially with that game going to overtime. And it was a heartbreaker as well. And SGA played 41 minutes as well. We still don't know if the Thunder are going to be pushing for the playoffs or they're going to choose, or if they know that they might have a chance to lose, to miss the playoffs and then try to get the best draft position. And this is even what their own beat writers are saying, that like they basically warn fans to say, hey, look, this is still an exploratory season or whatever. That's what the Thunder people are saying. So when I got to think about that, I'm like, damn, is he kind of saying that the Thunder might go the other way and not push for the playoffs? Personally, I wouldn't take the Thunder here full game. The Suns, everything I'm reading about the Suns, even though KD isn't playing, he's practicing around the team. Everything is a little bit more serious. You have guys like DeAndre Ayton saying the smiles are going away. Everybody's doing things like this serious business now. They know what's at stake. They know Chris Paul's legacy and Kevin Durant's legacy is at stake in this one. I think the Suns are a bet on team in the second half of the season. And I do like a Suns Clippers money line parlay. Couldn't talk you off throwing the Wolves in there as well. I'm not sure if they'll cover a 6.5, 7, but I wouldn't be taking Thunder on the money line to win this game, especially with the rest disadvantage as well. So I hope it makes sense. Thunder early, they have the advantage with them already playing the game, but with them coming from altitude and playing in overtime, as this game goes on, the Suns have the advantage, in my opinion, guys. I'm just here to bring you the info. I do lean Suns -7. It's going down to 6.5. I think the Suns cover this game, guys. A few more games here, man. Then we will get out of your hair here. We're going to the streets of Golden State here. Andy, we got the Warriors land 10.5 versus the Rockets here. Any props you like it in this one?
Boy, this Warriors team, man. I mean, it was trouble when they didn't have Wiggins in last night. I mean, this Warriors team, they should get a win, but are you positive? Are you positive they're going to cover this big of a spread? I'm not laying -10.5 points with this Golden State team. No Steph, and I don't know if Wiggins is going to play tonight. But, man, they need Poole or Clay to go ballistic. Otherwise, the points just aren't there. That was the Lakers with a new roster that they got, pretty much smoked by. And we saw Poole not have a great night. And if Poole isn't going for 30 points, this team is sunk. They just don't have offense in that starting lineup. So, honestly, I kind of like the under. 231.5 in this one. I'm not really sure that the Warriors are going to want to use a lot of energy. This isn't the run and gun type of game that I would expect them to want to get involved with. Alperen Sengun for the Rockets has been a gem on unders on his points, rebounds, and assists. I mean, Jay, a gem on unders because he doesn't play in the fourth quarters if there's a blowout. They're rotating guys in and out. They're not facilitating the offense through him. Not since KPJ and his situation. I don't know. I think I'll go back to Sengun under his points, rebounds, and assists just because he hasn't been getting there at all. And the Warriors can, muck up him with Draymond and with Looney. But no way I'm betting on the Warriors anytime soon. You have to depend on Clay and Poole to do it night in and night out to have huge games, and they've proven that they haven't really done it. But I'll go back to Sengun under PRA.
I couldn't talk you off that, man. I'm looking because I think Jalen Green is going to be out for this game. I got a little sneaky angle, man. I don't bet a lot of props. Yeah, they own it. They already know. I was gonna say KJ Martin, man. Take a look at his points props. I'm sure he's down on himself the way that he looked at it. It's just a good psychological angle. He's probably down on himself after what he did in the dunk contest, right? So he wants to bounce back at some point. There's not a ton of offensive guys on the Rockets, so it will be spread out. So I'm saying that I don't think that Kevin Porter Jr. is back, and I think I saw that Jalen Green is doubtful for this game as well. So they mean the other guys will get some burn in this one. The last time they did get smoked, KJ Martin had he was 5 for 11 and 0 for 3 for 3. He still had 13 points in that game. And this is with Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. in there. They got smoked 120 to 101. But I just feel like if he can get 13 with those guys in there, why can't he get 16 in a bounce back game without the two ball hogs in there, man? So a sneakily play on this one is something really I just thought about. I don't care about this game. I'm not betting this game, but Kenyon Martin Jr. over 15.5 points. I think that's good money right there. I think he's going to come out with some extra incentive after getting basically embarrassed in the slam dunk contest. So good sneaky look there, in my opinion. KJ Martin there over his points in that one, guys. Couldn't talk you off. Maybe over points and rebounds as well. He had 7 rebounds in that last game, man. So that's something I'd be looking at, man. It's a little sneaky look there. And just real quick, what do you think about that?
It's pretty good. Well, I will tell you, I don't have strong opinions one way or the other, so I will not talk you off of that. I think it's a really good look, and we're to the point in the season where these sneaky looks are hitting. I mean, look at Malachi Branham for the San Antonio Spurs. He's one of the best guys to take over PRAs right now. Who would have ever thunk that? So if you can find these guys that is off of everybody's radars, they're off the books radar. So if the books haven't adjusted properly and you find a little gem there, I think you go for it, Jay.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little look. Just real quick, let me see. I just want to see what points and rebounds are. Points and rebounds is at 22.5, man. So
there you go.
I'd lean both of those. Over the points and the points and rebounds, especially with the usage being spread out a lot more. Pretty sure that Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. are still out in this one. It's still business, man. You can still find some props to cash with. A couple more games here, Andy. We got going to the streets of Chicago. Have the Bulls land 2 points at the house versus the Nets. I did see that maybe Cam Johnson was out of rotation. What do you think about any of this, like some unders or any props in this game, Andy?
Yeah, we talked about this on Wager Talk today, and I love this one. Nick Claxton under his points, rebounds, and assists. It's just his numbers have fallen through the roof, through the floor, through the basement since they made that Durant trade. Here, I've got the numbers here in front of me. So the 3 games before the Durant trade, 35 minutes, 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 assists. That's a PRA of 31 average. The 3 games after the trade, 25 minutes, 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. That's 14 PRA. It's a team that it's really hard to pick overs because they just spread it out. Bridges is there and all those different pieces. They still have all those wing players that they didn't trade away after they traded Durant. So you just have a lot of guys coming in and out of the lineup. You have a lot of guys playing 25 to 30 minutes as opposed to these teams that are running their stars out playing 37 to 39 minutes. So it's a perfect situation for unders. I don't think the books have totally adjusted. I'm not going to play Claxton over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I mean, the guy's got free throw issues. There's no reason for him to be out there in crunch time. Rebounds are okay, but he's still got to battle Vucevic. Bulls haven't been fantastic against centers. That's my only worry about this one. But with team like the Nets, who are going to be rotating these guys in and out, look at some unders.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe some Ben Simmons under points, man, in that one. I can't even see a Cam Thomas prop in that one. But what I did read from the beat writers that Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas right now, as the roster is constructed, or at least while they're trying to figure things out, they're saying that Vaughn is going to shorten the rotation, and right now they're saying that Thomas and Ben Simmons are out of rotation. That's just what I'm seeing. Obviously, Simmons could play. He gets paid a ton of money. They need to find a place for him somewhere. But as the roster is constructed, they don't really know what to do with Simmons right now. You hate to see it, my guys. But I wanted to lean Nets here. They did get that's how I'm looking at it before they signed Patrick Beverly. Beverly could be a little boost of energy, at least for a little while, because remember the Bulls were dead, basically dead in the wire, 0-6 straight up and against the spread, Andy. But it goes both ways. When you on a winning streak going into the break, that's not good. But when you're losing, you want that break to come, because now it's a chance to reset. So actually kind of changed my lean from the Nets to the Bulls. It's a toss-up game. I know for a fact I'm not betting it. One more here, Andy. We got the Clippers here going to the streets of LA. We got the Clippers land 6.5 points at the house, up to 7 at some spots versus the Sacramento Kings. I think the Kings might be a little trendy underdog here, Andy. How you looking at this game? Any props?
I mean, we're really got to do this Russell Westbrook thing where we have to look at Russell Westbrook props. I can't believe it.
Assist.
We could look at it. I was looking at his PRA under because it's 26.5, and I'm like, is he really going to get that many stats with a new team? And if there's one guy that can, it's totally him. I mean, talk about a guy that'll walk into a new team and just not be shy about shooting it and everything. So I was going to take his under, but I guess I can't really do that. Yeah, I guess you could go with his assist. I mean, the issue is you now have Kawhi, Paul George, and you have Westbrook, 3 guys that want to create their own shot. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of assists on this team. I was kind of interested to see what they're going to do with, the center position, because Sabonis is really struggling. I think his wrist and thumb injury is a problem. And where you're seeing it is on the defensive end. I mean, he's just getting shy about, protecting the rim. And, I get it. Shout out to him for playing through what has to be a painful injury night after night. But I don't think the Clippers are going to have any trouble getting to the rim. I just don't know what the minutes are going to be for some of the Clippers guys. So this one might be a wait and see. There's no reason to force a bet in this game. I guess if anything, I might take a look at Sabonis under his points, rebounds, and assists. If he's playing, I don't think the injury report has come out, and I don't see any props out for him. So I'm interested to see what the Clippers do. I hope we learn a lot tonight about what the rotation is going to be, especially at that center position. Maybe we see if Russell Westbrook is going to dial it back a little bit, but probably not. I guess if anything, you just go back to Kawhi over his points. He's very, very, very well rested. We know he doesn't like doing the back-to-back thing, so you don't get much more rested than you are tonight. Maybe Kawhi, but this game's kind of a wait and see, and just gather some info tonight.
That was a good point about them being rested. Kawhi Leonard, obviously one of the main guys. Don't be a bit surprised seeing them come out and have a big game. Everything that I'm seeing with reports, unfortunately, they are going to start rest Russell Westbrook. I wouldn't like to see it, but you never know. It could be good. It could be one of those where this is a honeymoon stage. And the way, you look at this guy in practice, he's super happy around this team. I mean, he was hated versus the Lakers. With the Lakers, now he's saying in the press conference, he's saying it's nice to be on a team where the fans and the players want you there, man. So this actually could be like a flip switched for the Westbrook, where it could be good for his mental, guys. When you're in a positive situation, you usually get positive results in this one. So I actually don't hate that he's in there. More of that. I'm in the business of fading the Kings, man. You saw how they struggled last night versus the Blazers, coming out 19-4. That's the Kings, in my opinion. Now, you saw the Blazers also run out of gas in that one. I'm watching them warm up for the second half. They were clanking everything. Obviously sitting on the plane for 18 hours over the past few days, or 17 hours, some shit like that. You knew that it was going to be, I think maybe 11 hours, but regardless of that, you knew they were going to run out of gas in that one. This Kings team, like you said, Andy, not a ton of defense. They're on a back-to-back. If you do like the Kings here, same thing with the Thunder. They have the advantage with already playing the game, knock the rust off, maybe take the Kings first quarter, first half. As the game goes on, the Clippers have the advantage. I think they smoke them in the second half. If the game is close or the Kings are up at the half, I'll definitely be playing Clippers in the second half in this one, man. So I lean Clippers -6.5. 6.5, but I did make a little money line parlay Clippers and Suns. And I couldn't talk you off doing the Clippers and the Wolves one as well, my guys. So that's what I'm liking this one. But I do think Clippers minus 6.5 gets the job done, but you probably will get a better line in game. I'm pretty sure you can get a minus 3.5 in game with the Clippers. But however, I do think over the longevity of the game, they will win this game by double digits. Last time they faced off the Kings, they got smoked by 27 points. They rested PG and Kawhi in this one. Now the Clippers are playing their guys, revamped roster, guys off the bench are balling. Their bench play will smash the Kings bench play as well, guys. So liking the Clippers there, minus the 6.5. And now with Andy, let's get out of here. What did you have promote over there at Wage Talk? What you got going over there at Wage Talk, my brother? And any free picks for the show?
Sure. I think my best bet is still Alperen Sengun under his points, rebounds, and assists. Just going over the numbers, he's just not. They don't use him as much as they did before. And I think this could be a game that maybe he's a little bit of a liability if he can't keep up with Draymond's speed or anything. I mean, because Draymond can at least run and cause him problems. So look for Houston to not want to win the game. That's another thing as well, is he's one of their better players. And if he starts playing well, they might take him out and say, stop scoring. What do I have to promote? Honestly, Jay, we're on a 5-0 run in NBA. We started crushing in NHL. This is the time of year where we increase the volume. 8-3 the last couple nights, 4-1 last night in NHL props. We're just hitting our stride on every sport. We got a 5% UFC play up. And for $199, you can get all of our plays through March. We're up 46 units this year. So we're just seeing everything really, really well. If you just want one individual play, I would encourage everyone to get the UFC 5%. We cashed 5% last Saturday. That's what's up there. And if you want to jump on board the NBA streak, 5-0, we got one best bet that is up today. So hoping to make it 6-0 run.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all go check out Andy over at Wager Talk as well. I think say his best bet under Alfred Sengun under PRA in that one. He plays on the Rockets in that one, guys. I look today, my best bet is Heat plus 1.5. I'm also liking the Knicks on the money line, also liking the Clippers as well. But like I say, Heat plus 1.5, best bet for me today. Like heavy leans, like I say, Knicks -2, Hawks first half, Hawks team total over as well. Let me see. I'd lean Hawks full game as well, like in the Heat. I lean Heat in the first half. I lean those Wolves there -6.5. Could not talk you off, and leaning Wolves on team total overs as well, man. Like first quarter, first half, full game. Wolves team total overs. Lean Suns as well, full game as no one. Suns Clippers money line parlay. Could not talk you off. KJ Martin over points and rebounds, leaning in that one, and lean the Clippers in that one -6.5 as well, and Clippers team total over. That's the show, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you do like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's Us Against the Bookies. If you'd like to join the channel as well and get access to the night shows, the members only night shows, it's only $3.99 to join as a member. Just click the down button on the chat, hit the join button, guys. It's Us Against the Bookies. Let's get some cash. We out, man. We will win. Let's go.